What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room, hitting the light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. So Trump hush money trial is still moving forward, and Stormy Daniels testified. And I want to share some things about what happened from someone who was inside the courtroom, because as we know, this trial is not being televised. There are no cameras allowed in the courtroom. All we are seeing is courtroom sketches from whoever is doing these drawings. And these drawings, I have to tell you, they are funny. But let's just go ahead and share what's going on.
They've decided instead that they're going to try to protect Trump in terms of the real world and political impact of this case. And I don't think that's working either. I mean, Stormy Daniels' testimony today, to have the judge say to Trump's defense lawyers, I was kind of expecting you to object a little bit more than you did. To have the judge, sua sponte, having to object himself because Trump's lawyers weren't objecting on his behalf. I mean, we all know about the pajamas now, right? Like, we all heard the condom-related testimony. All of this stuff is there, and his defense team has let it ring out in the courtroom.
Yeah, I mean, and because you went there, I'll follow you. I mean, the thing with covering Trump for 9 years is, you know, that when he went on foreign trips, he wouldn't eat, because he was germophobic and he's xenophobic. And so I know from my own reporting that when he traveled to India, he wouldn't eat. I mean, his whole thing with COVID and this whole thing with touching, he didn't want to touch. I mean, his conversation the first time he meets Stormy Daniels when they have sex is about her time in the adult film industry and whether they wear condoms. She talks about being tested. He wants to know how they protect themselves from STDs. It's so on brand. Again, it's her testimony. A jury will decide if it is or is not credible. But to your point about the lawyers doing double duty, serving both as his criminal defense team and his political protectors, all that stuff certainly rings true to the broader narrative we've come to know about Donald Trump.
Yes. And, I mean, listen, there's the very big picture here, Nicole, is, I mean, we're thinking seriously as a country about putting somebody back in the White House who mounted a violent effort to overthrow the government the last time that he was voted out, who says that parts of the Constitution should be terminated, who says he wants to put the U.S. military in American cities. He wants to build camps for tens of millions of people, right? Like, that's what we're thinking about doing. There's like this huge yikes factor when it comes to him. But part of the reason he wants to destroy the rule of law and thinks that parts of the Constitution must be terminated is because in cases like this, where he's facing more than 30 of the more than 80 felonies he's charged with, it just seems plain that the evidence is very, very, very strongly against him. And so on top of the scariness about what he's offering us as a political figure, on top of his likely criminal liability in these multiple criminal trials, we also then just get this yuck factor stuff, right? I mean, he invites her. She's doing a porn company promotion at a golf tournament. His infant son is 4 months old. He has his bodyguard ask her if she'd like to have dinner, so she goes to his room. There is no dinner. He's wearing satin pajamas. She says, get dressed. He tells her, I'll get you onto my reality competition TV show, and I will help you cheat at it. Right? He gives her he said, I'll give you advance notice of the challenges on the show, and that will help you. He tells her, me and my wife don't sleep in the same room. He asks her when she was last tested for sexually transmitted diseases. He tells her she reminds him of his daughter. She goes to the bathroom. She comes out of the bathroom, and he is stripped down to his underpants. And she tries to leave, and he steps between her and the door. And she doesn't want to do it. She says she doesn't feel threatened, but
Did he have on Depends? I just have to pause that for a moment. I don't want the visual because it's already enough hearing this disgusting scene. But did he have on Depends or BVDs? Like, seriously. Oh, my God. Ugh. There's no amount of money. None.
To her, I thought you were serious about what you wanted. If you ever want to get out of that trailer park, they have sex. She is not into it. He does not wear a condom. That is particularly concerning to her, and he should know that it is because she has just explained that to him about her work in the adult film industry. They meet several more times. He makes more sexual advances. They never have sex again. And ultimately, it is only when he finally says, no, I'm not putting you on my TV show, that she stops picking up his call.
And I don't think Melania really cares either, because I don't think they've ever had sex ever again either. It's questionable even if they conceive Barron the natural way.
I mean, that's the character. I mean, Jimmy Carter almost lost in 1976 because he said he'd committed lust in his heart. But this is who we're thinking about putting back in the White House right now, along with what he is threatening to do to the country, in part out of anger for the criminal liability that he has brought on himself by trying to cover up things like this, behavior like this, character like this.
So yeah, speaking of behavior like this, character like this, the people that defend this clown is just as soulless as he is, because there is no way that someone could be an actual, true believer in Christ and say that they are 100% for him being the president of the United States. And honestly, worshiping him, to be honest with you. Like, a lot of these people, they don't just, I'm not talking about just the people that are just like, I'll never vote for a Democrat or whatever. Those people, listen, it is what it is. Even though Trump is not really a Republican, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm talking about the ones that are just so deeply embedded in this stuff, and also call themselves believers in God and Jesus Christ. And it's like, you definitely are not somebody that reads the Bible, because he is absolutely everything that is antichrist. I know, the Bible talks about the antichrist, but people can be antichrist. Like, literally, their behavior, their beliefs, their actions are antichrist. And he is the complete opposite of everything that is Jesus Christ. So it's just baffling to me when these people who claim to be believers are for Trump, and they come up with every reason to say that the current president, who I'm not saying I'm a fan of either, but they will say everything about him and his son to make it like this man is evil, but they won't call out the things for their guy. So he went on his social media, whatever he calls it, to blast a commentator who was in the court. And this is the man that these prophets, alleged prophets, are getting on social media, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, wherever, they do their thing, to say that they are a prophet and God told them that Trump is going to be the next president. So he fired off an angry message aimed at MSNBC host Lawrence O'Donnell late Tuesday night. It said, "I haven't seen him in years. He looks like SHIT, a real loser," he wrote on his social media account, and then signed the message DJT. How can anybody that looks like him talk about anyone else's looks? That is the lengths of his narcissism. The nerve. He called the woman that he definitely did have sex with horsey face. And what does he think his horse face looks like? Okay. He, meaning Lawrence O'Donnell, he attended some of the criminal trial in New York. And I guess he got pissed off when he saw him in court. And he is an MSNBC commentator, so he was sharing his thoughts on it and sharing some things about what he noticed about Trump. He said Trump was glaring at him and muttering as he left the court. He said, "It seems Donald Trump wasn't really pleased to see me." And so after seeing the post on his social media account, it's, he definitely was not pleased to see him. He said, "It must have been something I said." And that's what Lawrence O'Donnell wrote on X as his response to what 45 wrote on his own social media account. And that's the thing about this guy. He knows that, for the most part, no one on MSNBC has anything pleasant to say about him. But to be honest with you, even though a lot of these stations like MSNBC, Fox, they are more biased towards one side than the other, he already knows that a lot of these places don't have very pleasant things to say about him. And even if the things are just true, it's just what's going on, and they're not blowing smoke and kissing his ass like Fox News and Newsmax or News Nation, whatever the heck it's called, OAN. Don't look around, because the majority of those who have platforms don't have anything nice to say about you. So just look to the ones that you know are going to speak favorable of you. It's just ridiculous that he gets mad at these people that he knows don't see it for him. But I guess that's what narcissists do. You know, they can't help themselves. Oh my God, they can't help themselves. Instead of just tuning out, they have to listen in, and then they get triggered and they want to respond. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section. Stormy Daniels was in court. She was giving graphic details about the encounter that she had with Trump. And this trial isn't about what they did physically. It's about what he did in terms of her not sharing what went down to possibly hurt his chances of becoming the president when he was running the first time. And how Michael Cohen went to prison for it, but he believes that he did nothing wrong. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.